Good morning, everybody. Monday 5 Live. I know I'm a few minutes late today. In fact, I don't normally go live on a public holiday. It is Queen's birthday here, and normally I wouldn't be doing this, but there's actually a topic that's come up over the weekend that I think is very relevant, and I thought it might be useful for some of you out there to hear what I'm about to say. Once again, it's a wet and windy Monday morning. It seems to be a pattern around here. So today, my topic is using Wriggle Room to reframe your relationship around food. And I think that this is a really important subject, and I can say that this is something that has really been a game changer for me in the way that I approach food and eating. Morning, Simon. How you doing? Hope you're well. Okay, I think it's fair to say that a lot of people have a very difficult relationship with food. And there are many, many reasons for this. One of them is people are confused. They don't really know what's healthy and what's not. They're confused about, how much they should be eating and when. There's also the problem with people being overwhelmed. Excuse me. People are leading very busy lives. A lot of people are overstretched with their commitments. They're feeling overwhelmed and like they've got too much on their plate. And this leads to things like comfort eating, but also a reliance on convenience foods because there's not a lot of time for anything else. Fads and trends are also a problem for people when it comes to their relationship with food. So at the moment, we've got a trend going on with high-fat diets. People are ending up with bigger problems than what they started with because they're following fads and trends that they think are going to serve a good purpose for them, or they're going to help them with their health or lose weight or whatever it is. And sadly, a lot of these fads and trends are, doing the opposite. They're creating long-term problems. Another reason why people are having a difficult relationship with food is that they sort of think that they're doing all the right things, but they don't necessarily understand that some of those right things are actually the wrong things. So none of these things that I've just mentioned create freedom around food. They keep you trapped. They keep you thinking about food all the time and, being confused and, wondering what you should be eating and what times you should be eating and how much protein should I be eating and am I eating too many calories and things like that. There's no freedom in that approach at all. And this is where the concept of Wriggle Room comes in, and I absolutely love it because, as I mentioned at the beginning, this has completely changed my relationship with food and how I approach eating. So Wriggle Room is where most of the time you make really good choices, okay? So you have a plan and you have a routine and you stick to that, pretty much 90% of the time. And then the other 10% of the time, the Wriggle Room is for you. Excuse me, I've got something in my throat. I'm sorry I keep doing that. Wriggle Room is where you allow yourself that other, say, 10% of the time to just relax and do whatever you want. This might mean going out for dinner with your spouse for your anniversary, having a glass of wine, having a nice dinner, and having a dessert. That's Wriggle Room. Wriggle Room is also allowing yourself to have an ice cream on the weekend with the kids. It allows you to go to the movies and order some popcorn or a bag of sweets or something like that. That is Wriggle Room. And in my experience with my clients, the ones who allow themselves the Wriggle Room have the most success. So in the past, I've had clients who have come to me and I explain how the meal plans work that I give them. And I say to them, if you can follow this, say 85% of the time, you're going to do really well. And a couple of people I've worked with in the past have said, no, I'm a 100%er. I'm going to do this 100%. If I'm all in, I'm all in. There's no room for falling off the wagon. And I say to them, okay, but you need to allow yourself a little bit of freedom. And I find that the people who go all in at 100%, these are the A-type personalities typically, who they're the overachievers and the, wanting to do everything perfectly. They are the first ones to completely fall off the rails, and I never hear from them again. That doesn't happen very often, but it has happened because they've gone in with a 100% mentality, and then they've gone, oh, I just had a licorice all sort and I've screwed it up. Oh, I might as well just screw everything up. So they're not allowing themselves any freedom, and it creates too much stress. And then they go, oh, I've blown it. And then they fall off the wagon. And those are typically the people that just go on and continue to make the same mistakes over and over again. So the people who allow themselves wriggle room are the ones who have success, because it gives you a sustainable model to follow. So I'm going to give you an example of how wriggle room applied to me this weekend. So my father is turning 80 on Wednesday, and we celebrated his 80th birthday as a family yesterday. It was a fantastic day. We all climbed the mount together, and then all of us kids and grandkids completely redecorated my parents' house, and Dad turned up, and it was a surprise lunch for him. And what we knew Dad would really like is all his favourite foods. So yes, it's nice to go out to a restaurant and do all that sort of thing as a family, but we thought, no, actually, we're going to just give Dad all his favourites. So my dad is a Dutchman, so he loves meat, so salami, sausages, chicken, steak, all that sort of thing. He also loves KFC. And it's not something he eats very often. He's a very fit and healthy man, and he's quite, cautious around his health. But for example, if my mum goes away for the night with a friend or something like that, we know that Dad will order KFC, and that's kind of his little treat to himself, and he really enjoys it. So we ordered a whole lot of KFC, and we had meat and cheese platters with all the, foreign Dutch cheeses and things like that. We had beef croquettes, deep fried, all the stuff that he liked. And then we had a really lovely cake. So it was basically a table full of decadent food. And the really cool thing is that because I know that I have wriggle room, I could go and enjoy that meal. So I always say that I'm about 95% plant-based, which works really well for me. Sometimes I'm even 90%. Like lately, to be honest, I've slipped back a little bit, and that's fine. So that 5 or 10%, what that does is it allows me to go and enjoy those moments with my family. So I had a piece of KFC. I had a beef croquette. I had a chicken nugget from KFC. I had some salad, and I had a piece of cake, and I really enjoyed it. These foods are not foods that I would normally eat, but every now and then I will, and I really, really enjoyed it. But the beauty about wriggle room is that when you allow it for yourself, you almost kind of feel like you don't even need it. So instead of going in with the approach of, I can't eat that, and I can't eat that, and oh my God, what am I going to eat? I know what you guys know. I know you guys know what I'm talking about when I say, when you don't allow yourself to have something, you just want it more and more. So if I'd gone in with the approach of, I can't eat anything and I'm not allowed to eat this, I would have just wanted it. And it would have been stressful, and I would have been putting all my attention on what I can be eating and what I can't be eating, and forgetting about the enjoyment of the day with my family. So that wriggle room is so valuable, because when you kind of allow yourself to have it, it's kind of like, yeah, I can have it, but do I really want it? So what I found was that, yes, I had a piece of everything, overdo it. And I certainly didn't want to overdo it, because I didn't want to be then sitting on the couch after lunch going, I feel like rubbish, and not enjoying the day. So I had a little bit of everything. I ate till I was satisfied. Then I had a piece of cake, and then I could get on with my day and just enjoy being with my, my extended family. So wriggle room is a really, really great way to go. And another example was last night. So as part of the birthday celebration, all us kids had jobs to do. And my job was to prepare 2 meat and cheese platters, okay? So I had to go out and buy a whole lot of meat and cheese, not things that I would normally be putting in my trolley at all. So I made these meat and cheese platters, and Steve and I are very conscious of when we go to an event like something like that, we don't take home leftovers, because we know that they just get eaten and then you just end up feeling like you've overdone it. So we're quite happy to allow other people to take the leftovers. But there was one block of cheese that I didn't use on the platter. So it was sitting in our fridge, and I looked at it last night, and Steve said to me, oh, you should probably give it away. It was a block of Parmesan cheese, actually. And I thought, actually, I just really want to have a piece of Parmesan cheese. So I cut myself a slice, cut myself a sliver, actually, and then I went back for another one and then another one because it was so nice. And I thought, I'm just going to enjoy this. So I sat down with my bit of cheese and I just savoured it. I savoured the taste, I enjoyed it, and I knew that, okay, that was a one-off kind of thing, and then today I'm back on track with my normal routines. So, when the other good thing about Wriggle Room is when you start to give yourself the opportunity to eat those foods that you really enjoy but you don't normally eat, what it does is it allows you to learn how your body communicates to you, okay? So for example, when I eat cheese or, too much gluten, for example, I get asthmatic. Now that is my body saying to me, those foods don't agree with you. So last night I had my Parmesan cheese, then I had to go and get my inhaler because my airway's closed up. That's my body telling me something. And I know that that's what's going to happen, but it didn't stop me enjoying it in the moment. So the more you do this and the more you kind of get into good routines and then allow yourself some wriggle room, you will start to listen to what your body's saying. So I'll give you another example of my mother, okay? So my mum is 77 and she's suffered from osteoarthritis for quite a few years. I've sort of, ever since I can remember, she's had it in her knuckles and her joints, and she was also getting it in her knee. And anyway, I said to her, Mum, I really think you should go dairy free. And it took her a while to accept that, she could do that, because she didn't want to give up her milky coffees and her baked goods and things like that. But anyway, now she is dairy free and she has no pain in her body. She's got no arthritis and she's got no knee pain. But when she indulges, so if she has like a scone, for example, with some butter on it, or another example is she's been down the South Island recently on a bus trip and there weren't many dairy and gluten-free options available for her. So she was just eating what was there. And she said within a couple of days, she was getting the pins and needles in her hands, which is a sign that her arthritis is going to flare up. So that's her body talking to her and saying, I don't like this. So this is a really good way of, learning to understand what your body's saying. And people who live with pain and other symptoms like migraines and headaches and, gut pain, they just come to accept that it's a normal part of life. And it's not until they clean up their diet and then allow themselves that wriggle room, and then they go and, pig out on a cheat meal or something like that. And then they go, oh, that actually, after I had that food, like all my symptoms came back and I felt dreadful. That's how you learn over the long term what you want to eat and what you don't. And then you can choose to whether you have that wriggle room or not. And in my experience, even though you know that, it's not great for you, you still want to go and have those little moments every now and then where you can just enjoy things. And what it does is it just gives you so much freedom, and it can completely reframe your relationship with food. So if you are that person who feels like you're trapped with your relationship with food in terms of knowing what to eat, should I be measuring my portion sizes? Should I be counting calories? Do I need to worry about protein or fat or anything like that? My answer to that would be no, you don't. You just need to eat good, healthy, nutrient-dense foods 85 to 90% of the time, and then the rest of the time you can have whatever you like. And that makes things sustainable over the long term, and that's going to lead to long-term success. So I think I have covered everything I wanted to say today. If you've got any questions, please fire them through. I'll be happy to answer them. And yeah, thank you for listening on this wet Monday. Hope you're all having a lovely Queen's Birthday weekend and doing something enjoyable. If it means you've got to go out and have that cheap meal or that, you know, the meal with your family or something like that, just go and do it. And then, you know, allow yourself that time, allow yourself that enjoyment. And then tomorrow, just get back on track. It's easy. It's so, so easy. And this is why I love the plant-based lifestyle so much. I know I keep harping on about it. I love it so much because it just gives you that freedom. You don't have to do any of that counting calories or portion sizes or macronutrient rubbish. It's stressful. It's so stressful. And yet there are people out there who are doing all that stuff. You don't need to do any of it. All you need to do is eat good food. Listen to what your body's saying. And when it's telling you it's had enough, you stop and then you move on and then you have your next meal. And every now and then you go and have whatever you like. It's so, so easy. Okay, guys, I have been rabbiting on for a while. I'm going to leave it there. Hope you guys all have a great day and we will catch you back here next Monday at 9 o'clock. Thanks for listening, everyone. Bye.